And so I'm looking for that combination of muscle and fat. So I want animals that are high yielding, good muscularity, good thickness, especially across the top line, that muscularity down through the hindquarter, and then with adequate fat coverage based on their live weight. So these lighter cattle, of course, are not requiring anywhere near the fat cover that I'll be looking for when we get up into the heavier classes. So that's really what I'm looking for today. We're just waiting. There's another 5 animals in this class that we're sort of giving a bit of a benefit to try and get them into the ring.
It's just like
hopefully they'll be
something's coming
here shortly, and we'll be able to assess those cattle as well. But yeah, again, a big thank you to Beef Australia and the stud committee for the invitation here to judge. Cheers.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Nothing in there. We should get something else.
It's on the screen on the video camera. Do you know what it is?
The SIM card.
Yeah.
Make mention of Ray White, our sponsors of our junior-led classes here this afternoon. Australia's fastest growing rural property and livestock group. We thank Managing Director Mr Stephen Nell and the Queensland State Manager Adrian Knowles. So I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Laura Tacey from Mundubra. So up here at Beats this year with Ray White. Ray White is Australia's largest 100 rural businesses, auction more property than any other group, and Ray White Rural and Livestock is Australia's fastest growing network. So our St Brendan's College exhibitors have made their way into the arena. Leading our St Brendan's steers are Onions, breastplate number 4, Routemaster steer, and his handler is Jack Hutchinson. We have breastplate number 5, that's Bowser, a Charolais Cross steer, St Brendan's College, and Cody Kilalea is the handler. Then we go down to catalogue number 9, that is Slady, Brenga steer, Kai Wilson the exhibitor. Number 10, Goam, Brenga's Cross steer, Elijah Valdivia. And then catalogue number 12 is Crusher, a Droughtmaster steer, and Oscar Hills is the handler.
Oh, this one's straight across the line? No. Oh, I can see traffic. Where did he? Oh, he had a foot. Must be them.
Yeah. So if I do that, you're going to
first of our junior steer classes this afternoon. Catalogue for class number 36 in your show program, the Milktooth Lead Steer, live weight 350 to 439 kilos. Our next class will be class number 37, the Milktooth Steer, live weight 440 to 449. We have class number 38, that's the Milktooth Lead Steer with a live weight of 500 to 559 kilos. Our final class will be class number 39, the Milktooth Lead Steer, live weight 560 to 650 kilos.
Dolly, that one's missing his mummy.
I can say on holiday. I feel like
There's
I've
two
got
mothers.
except for the fact that I'll have one drink and I'll be like, I'm going to be laughing up the whole thing. Yeah, we're just oh, he's there. Joel hotels or just
Oh yeah, this one will cut out a bit if it gets too far away.
pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, one of those baboons. With a big old thing. Okay, I'll see you later anyway. Yeah, what time do we go
Right, Howie? Come this way, Howie. Come this way. Go through the seat.
It does really, isn't it? Some doctor condition but not confirmation. Just haven't got confirmation.
Oh, you did? Yeah. We're 10 minutes now. So if you're going back later, like so when you do I need a hat. Well, where'd you get that from? Well, I've got beach, and I was like, why put it down somebody else takes it? I need to go on like that. But I need it
Okay, so we're down the bottom.
Grab the lights again.
With Jack.
Now making the presentation here in our centre ring for our winner and place getter here in our first class. So I'll hand it over now to our judge, Mr. Jeff House, to give his thoughts on the class. Thanks, Jeff.
So, ladies and gentlemen, an interesting class to start off here with. So the steer that I've got there in first place, look, I just think a really good balance of exactly what I'm looking for. That muscularity, that yield, really good top line on this steer. That muscle follows down through the hindquarter. And yeah, plenty of thickness there. With, at this lightweight, probably just enough coverage of fat. Nice even fat cover on there, I believe. And just overall a really good steer. The steer there in second place, totally different type of steer, but again, those same sort of attributes. It's got really good thickness, top line. That top line really flows in behind the shoulder nicely, and a really good hindquarter on that animal. Just not sure that's quite got the same evenness in fat distribution as the and fat coverage as the steer above. They stand the same, but yeah, just not sure that it's quite as even in its fat cover as the steer that's walking out there in front. And then as we go down through these last three steers, so the steer I've got there in third, again, another really nice package, one of the lighter animals in the class. Plenty of meat up over the top line, as I keep talking about that thickness behind the shoulder. I really want to see that muscle run in there really nice and thick behind the shoulder. Again, this steer shows that really, really well. The steer in fourth, probably one of the steers with the highest amount of fat coverage in the class. Probably plenty of muscle, plenty of ribeye area there, plenty of thickness on top. Maybe just not quite as even in that fat coverage. Potentially a little bit wasty there in the hindquarter. But, you know, plenty of yield there, plenty of meat. And then the steer down there in fifth, you know, again, really well muscled steer. A little, you know, lighter in its fat distribution and fat coverage. Probably, well, nowhere near as much fat down there over the hindquarter as the steers above it. So, congratulations to the exhibitors.
You can move back if you want to, love. You're getting
Oh, sorry. I might just stuck back with it.
Yeah, get out of it. Sun's got a bit
sorry.
of Sun's got a bit of bite in it.
It sure has.
Well, I can move back.
No, you're right. I'll have to move.
Thanks, Jeff. Congratulations there to our winner and place getter. So our winner was breastplate number 12. That was Crusher, the Drought Master steer, exhibited by St Brendan's College. Oscar Hills was the handler.
No, Marlborough.
Second place, going to catalogue number 6, Achilles, Roman Old Cross Limousin steer, C&N Goody, I should say, Claire Goody, the handler. Our third place ribbon goes to catalogue number 4, Drought Master steer, from Brendan's College once again, and Jack Hutchinson, the handler. Our fourth place getter was catalogue number 9, that was Slady, Brenger steer, once again, St Brendan's College, having a great afternoon, and Kai Wilson, the handler. And our fifth place ribbon has been awarded to catalogue number 2, that is Arrow, Romanola, Calvary Cross steer, C&N Goody, and Claire Goody was the handler. So we welcome here into our centre arena this afternoon the next of our classes, and this is class number 37. Again for the Milk 2 steer, live weight 440 to 449 kilos. At the lead we have catalogue number 13, and that is Prince of Brenger steer, presented here this afternoon by the Mondo State High School. Sophie McLaughlin is the handler. Number 14, and that is Oreo, Speckle Park, Murray Grey Cross steer, once again Mono High School, and Tegan Thompson. Catalogue number 15 is the third steer, and that is Payday, One Aquitaine Cross Speckle Park steer. Linda Datler is the exhibitor. Shadia Datler is the handler. Number 16, that is Morgan, a Wagyu Brahman Cross steer, presented by St Brendan's College. Will Elliott, the handler. Number 17, Sapphire, Livingston steer, Proston State School. Jessica Jackson. Number 18, that is Sheldon, A Speckle Park steer, Mono State High School, Danica Smith. Number 19, that is Goose. A Limousin Cross steer, George Tucker, handled by George here this afternoon. Number 20 is Kodak, Charbray steer, GA and WA Streeter. Kira Lee Streeter is the handler. Number 21, and that is Mad Max, a Santa Charolais Cross steer, presented by Mono State High School. Emily Benson is the handler. Number 22, and that is MCC Wrangler, Outmaster steer, presented by Mackay Christian College. And number 23, and that is Minamara Mr. Bubbles, the Limousin Cross steer, Greg and Susie Wilders. And Cody Killalia is the handler. So they are our competitors now that are before our judge, Mr. Jeff House. That is class number 37 in the program for our steers 440 or 449 kilos.
I do try. Well, that's
Probably a couple of milkers. Got a real Euro backside on him, slap there, and he's real happily bummed. No. Yeah. Oh, well, you've got to have it in here what you want, stick to it, haven't you? That's a talk to people, I say, you should always go stick with your first instinct. Yeah. You must have that. Don't doubt
Are you friends with
it. I used to get like high school prospect steers to show, they cut their teeth on a bloke that was teaching, was a science teacher, and you're up in the bed cutting the feed. He used to talk like shows. He didn't ever win on the hook. See, I think that second Speckley one in there, I think he's blonde aquitaine cross with the speckle. One of them is, which surprised me, and this is the third from the right, and that's what would cost our Brahmans. Blonde aquitaine. Like, where did you get them?
They were around here somewhere.
Yeah. They all been French skiing, but the judge, the judge has got the French skiing. Good on you. Thank you. I looked at that while
Why would he do it when he can get a woman to do it?
When I pushed me along. Thanks for that, mate. Now I'm better informed. Thank you. Tip number 15.
Yeah, he's not putting him up. He's a nice steer
I
though.
didn't see him.
He's just got a bit extra on the hind quarter like I'd expect him to have. He's long, he's like a block. Brick on the leg.
You almost sounds lovely.
Yeah, he's a nice steer. He's sharp rated.
Look hard to judge this.
You look like a bobby, yeah. What's that over here?
We extend a very warm welcome to the team from Ray White, our sponsors of our junior-led steer classes this afternoon, Australia's fastest growing rural and property and livestock group. Stephen Nell, the Managing Director, is here on the grounds this week at Beef 21, and Mr. Adrian Knowles, the Queensland State Manager. So on behalf of the entire team here at Beef, a very special thank you and a warm welcome to the team from Ray White.
Friend of mine on Beef Expo, like, was judging. And the son was the associate judge, luckily, and she was no need judge, she lived with France. And she was beautiful, she had really big front legs, and we all could see her, couldn't we, through outside the ring. And anyway, she had to put it up, and the son went like that at her. Stupid, she forgot about it. She was so correct everywhere else. At least the son got the message in. Put it up. Close competition. On the left, we are not here, yeah. It's your limousine, Brangus Cross or something. Well, Lord Angus, it is cold. Very cold. I wonder if he has them up on those Lantana Mountains. Cold coat. I don't think so. What 18? Yeah. What's it cost me, Angus? What's it cost me? Someone's happy. Who's he, Ben? Don't say who bred him.
Ladies and gentlemen, and it begins. What a fantastic lineup of steers in this class. Huge amount of muscle on display in this top lineup of steers. Look, there's some really good steers that have sort of been left there in the back two rows. But look, just the amount of muscle that's in these steers up front was just extraordinary. But still with adequate fat coverage. So this steer that I've put up in first, look, really good ribeye, extremely wide, right down through the, over the back there, behind the shoulders. Literally the same comments for the first two steers. Both exceptionally well muscled steers, both with really tremendously big ribeye areas, really flat and muscular across that top line. Probably what got the steer number 17 up over the steer number 23. Probably a little bit more confident in the fat coverage on this steer. There's not a lot of fat coverage on there, but I think it's got just enough for this sort of weight. Really beautiful, even fat coverage there. Nice and soft over the top. So yeah, overall a tremendous, really high yielding carcass would come out of this beast. And likewise, the same comments for the steer number 23 here in second. You know, tremendously muscled beast, great hind quarter. And just probably not quite the same evenness in fat coverage there, but very little between these two. We then come down to the steer number 19. Again, this is another hugely muscled beast. The top line on this animal is fantastic. Probably doesn't go quite through the hindquarter of the two steers above, but still, you know, enormous muscle, enormous yield on this steer. Nice and soft. It's carrying a bit more fat than the two above it, but you know, beautifully finished, and you know, overall just a really good quality steer. We then move down the steer here in fourth. Look, good top line on it again. It's a little bit, you know, not probably as even or as heavily muscled as the steers above it, but again, a really good carcass on that beast. Good top line, adequate fat cover for this sort of weight, and yeah, just overall a good carcass potentially in that animal. And then down to the animal in fifth, carrying a little bit more fat coverage again, but really, you know, good thick type of animal, plenty of muscle, and overall nice even fat coverage on it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. So we'll move now on to our next class. So we'll just update you there with our winners and place getters from class number 37. Our first place getter was catalogue number 17. With Sapphire, the Limousin steer, presented by the Boston State School. Jessica Jackson was the handler. Our second place has been awarded to catalogue number 23, Minamara Mr. Bubbles, Limousin Cross steer. Regan Susie Walters nomination, Cody Killalia, the exhibitor. Our third place getter was catalogue number 19, and that was Goose, the Limousin Cross steer, George Tucker. And George was the handler as well. Fourth place was catalogue number 21, Mad Max, the Santa Charolais Cross steer, presented by the Monto State High School. And our fifth place ribbon has been awarded to catalogue number 18, that is Sheldon, the Speckle Park steer, also presented by the Monto State High School.
Must be another class. Steer, I saw maybe grew teeth or something. Put out there.
But I want to see her. You said you have
I just remember it's called a patch. Look at the brown one here. Over here, look.
what cheese? This is what cheese is. Oh, I used
No, not professional. No, actually,
Oh, okay.
they always hold their own.
Welcome our next competitors in for class number 38. The Milktooth Lead Steer, live weight 500 to 559 kilos. So leading us off, we have catalogue number 24. This is Larry, the Speckle Park Steer. And the Dattler's nomination, Shadia Dattler, the handler. And we have catalogue number 25, that is Andy, the Speckle Park Steer, presented by the Rockhampton State High School. Megan Mitchell, the handler. Number 26, RGS Simba, the Brahman Cross Steer, also presented by the Rockhampton Grammar School. He's 504 kilos. Clay Goodwin, the handler. Number 27, that is Billy Bobbs, the Speckle Park Cross Steer. Tim and Lauren Eastwell, he's 512 kilos. George Tucker, the handler. Number 28, that is RGS Scar, a Brahman Steer, presented by the Rockhampton Grammar School. He's 512 kilos. Zach Armstrong is the handler. Number 29, that is Pluto, the Charolais Steer, Mono State High School, 514 kilos. Kiralee Streeter. Number 30 is Ruggs and Rumps. He's a Brangus Steer, presented by the Hanson family. He's 514 kilos. Hayden Hanson, the handler. Number 31, that is Tiny, the Droughtmaster Steer, presented by GA and WA Streeter. Riley Thompson, the handler. Number 32 is Oki, the Hereford Cross Steer, TNN Hardwick. Grace Thompson, the handler. He's 518 kilos. Number 33, Carlo Heath, the Silver Angus Cross Steer, St Mary's College, Gunnedah. Brad Mitchell is the handler.
I wouldn't show body back.
Number 34, that is RGGS Time On. He's a Charbray Steer, presented by the Rockhampton Grammar School. He's 528 kilos. Anna Chapman is the handler. Number 36 is Sid, a Speckle Park Steer, also presented by Rockhampton State High School. Megan Mitchell, the handler. Number 37, a Wait a While Quart Pot, Blonde Aquitaine Steer, presented by William and Angus Hess. Lachlan Murphy, the handler. Number 38, RGS Thor, a Black Limousine Steer, the Rockhampton Grammar School's nomination, 556 kilos. Ayrton Smith, the handler. Number 39 is Crack Pepper, Droughtmaster Cross Steer, Kevin Kerry, Mackenzie's nomination, JJ Fitty, 558 kilos. Number 40 is Sticks and Specs, Charolais Cross, Steer, presented by TNN Hardwick, and Grace Thompson is the handler. 2.
That's so funny, the MTS check marks those points.
Yeah, these switch when they're back on there.
Some of the animals I left down there at the back probably just didn't think they had quite the fat coverage. Now we're getting up into these sort of weights, so probably looking for a little bit more fat cover on some of those better muscled cattle. But yeah, some really good cattle still there in the back lines. We get up the front. I've got two animals here, a lot earlier maturing type animals. You know, they don't have the growth potential of you know, some of the other animals here, but look, I'm judging them as a carcass here today. You know, as if they were going to be slaughtered today. So really just looking at them as a body hanging up. And I think these two up front are both exceptionally well muscled, got the right amount of fat coverage on them, and really the steer here, number 27, really just got it over the grey steer, just with that amount of ribeye. You know, tremendous ribeye there, tremendous hindquarter. He's fluffed up a fair bit there in the grooming, but still that thickness down through the stifle joint, through the hindquarter. When you look from sort of that hip to pin through the plates on that animal, you know, just plenty of meat, plenty of bulge, what we're really looking for. But with that softness as well, there's adequate fat cover once we're getting up into these sort of carcass weights. So really good package of yield and also that fat coverage that we're looking for. The grey there in second place, a similar sort of steer, probably, you know, slightly scanned slightly bigger in the ribeye, but I probably just didn't think it quite flowed through as well. But yeah, an exceptionally well muscled beast, good hindquarter, good over the top, good through those plates again, all of those areas where you're looking for that muscularity, but still having the softness. Got that coverage on there, there's plenty of fat on that animal. So would hang up as a really good carcass, and nice and even, I think, in that fat as well. The steer there, number 30 in third, look, really caught my eye as soon as he walked into the ring. This is another steer with plenty of muscle, plenty of thickness up over the top. Probably just didn't quite have the ribeye of the steers above him for a little bit heavier animal, but look, again, a tremendous carcass. You know, really good thickness, muscularity, and that evenness of fat cover. He's a little bit, he almost looks a little bit leaner than the animals above him. He's scanned a bit higher, but the fat probably doesn't quite run down through that hindquarter quite as much as the steers above him. But again, still a good body, good muscle, good yield. Then the steer here in fourth, again another really good body. I seem to be harking on the same things, but that's what I'm looking at the whole time, is that muscularity and that fat coverage. So good top line, good through that hindquarter again. You know, not the thickness of the animals above, but still you know, plenty of fat coverage there, and overall a really good carcass. And then down to steer 25 here again. Same sort of story, plenty of ribeye, plenty of top line, that thickness up over the top, really, really good. But, you know, and we've got that fat coverage again that we're looking for, nice and soft through there. Probably that muscularity just doesn't run down through the hindquarters as much as the steers above. Thank you.
Can we take this opportunity here in our centre ring here this afternoon to thank Ray White, the sponsors of our Lead Steer competition, Australia's fastest growing rural property and livestock group. Ray White is Australia's largest property group, achieving 2.1 billion in rural transactions last year alone. Over 100 rural businesses auction more property than any other group, and Ray White Rural and Livestock is Australia's fastest growing network. Big warm welcome to the Managing Director of Ray White, Mr. Stephen Nell. Lovely to have you here in Rockhampton this week. And the State Manager for Queensland, Mr. Adrian Knowles. We also have Laura Tacey from Mundubra, representing Ray White. Thank them for their sponsorship here in our lead steer classes. We move now to our final class. This is class number 39, the Milktooth Lead Steer, live weight 560 to 650 kilos. So in catalogue order, we have number 41, that is Ham, a speckled park cross steer, presented by Rockhampton State High School. Kira Lee Abel is the handler. Number 42, Leroy, a Limousin steer, Libby Perkins, and Libby Perkins is also the handler. Number 43, RGS Hercules, a red Limousin steer, presented by the Rockhampton Grammar School. He's 566 kilos. Lucy Prentice is the handler. Number 44, that is Minamara Hoof Hearted, a Limousin cross steer, Greg and Susie Wilder's nomination. Race Payne is the handler. He's 570 kilos. Number 45, Mundaleer James Bond, presented by RJ and CD Stark. He's 572 kilos. Lachlan Stone is the handler. Number 46, and that is Johnny, a Brahman steer, presented by Banana Station. Number 47 is RGS Poe, a black Limousin steer, the Rockhampton Grammar School. Megan Ingram is the handler. Number 48, and that is RM, a Limousin cross steer, T and 4 lead steers. He's 582 kilos. Ryan Gould is the handler. Number 49 is Salt, a Droughtmaster cross steer, Ken and Kerry McKenzie and JJ Fittings nomination, 586 kilos. Jack Jeans is the handler. Number 50, and that's Yogi, a Limousin steer, TN4 lead steers. He's 588 kilos. Aidan Jenkins is the handler. Number 51, and that is George, a Brahman cross Limousin steer, presented by Banana Station, 598 kilos. Riley Godwin is the handler. Number 52, that is Special K, a Charbray steer, Timbrell Cattle Services. He's 606 kilos. Tim Connor is the handler. Number 53, that is RGS Captain Hook, Black Limousin steer, presented by the Rockhampton Grammar School. He's 612 kilos, and Stetson McGee is the handler. Number 54, Apis Creek Dave, that's a Brahman steer, Apis Creek Pastoral Company. He's 614 kilos. Alexandra Olive is the handler. Number 55, that is St Mary's Silverman, a Silver Angus cross, presented by St Mary's College Gunnedah, 614 kilos. Sage Mitchell, the handler. Number 56, that's B1, a Limousin cross steer. Billy Gooch is the handler and exhibitor, and that steer is 620 kilos. Number 57 in your catalogue, Smithfield Showtime, a Limousin steer, Proston State School, 622 kilos. Caitlin Barber. Number 58, which one? South Devon Cross Belgian Blue, Rory Callum, Alana and Erin McCutcheon, 622 kilos. Georgie Plowman is the handler. Number 59, that's St Mary's Muscle Man, a Silver Angus cross steer, presented by St Mary's College Gunnedah, 626 kilos. Bradley Miller. Number 60, Floyd, Brahman cross steer, Brahman Limousin cross steer. He's presented by Banana Station, and Jared Godwin is the handler. Number 61, Viva Dudley, a Brahman steer, Alistair and Pamela Davidson nomination. He's 632 kilos, and Heidi Davison is the handler. Number 62, Minamara Big Brown, a Limousin cross steer, Greg and Susie Wilder's nomination, 636 kilos, and Gemma Ling is the handler. Number 63, that is RGS Tigger, a red Limousin steer, presented here this afternoon by the Rockhampton Grammar School. Tyler Hayden is the handler, and the final steer in the lineup is number 64, and that is Maverick. And Limousin steer George Tucker, he's handled by George as well, and he comes in at 644 kilos. That's the lineup for class number 39. The steers from 560 kilos through to 650 kilos.
There's a girl leading. Whereabouts?
Gone past it, 54.
Oh, serious.
Yes, Lucy, please.
So for this class, all the bets come back.
I got Mama and Papa.
We flashed it through. I looked at an email on Friday after it come through. We were away with dentist. An email from this is their maths assessment complete and all their thing. I'm gonna hold chase them. Tomorrow we're gonna be away. You'll have to wait till Sunday to come back. You've actually got to see
We go for a walk and have a look at these things.
Yeah, I think you should go on Friday. You guys don't have what's time? You're here a week.
Let's go, John.
I want you to be like, it's got a washing machine, it's got a kitchen, like, proper free wash. Like, I saw the girls. I know, No, it was just a silver chain. Oh, sorry. With different chain, different sorts. And then it had like a silver piece of silver on top with a big natural pearl.
Then you go home. Go home. They're ready. Go, dog. My name's Libby.
I know, we ate that one cake of cobra. Anyway, so you had
Alright, Steve's coming up. Hey, right, Steve. And my that thing's gonna go to the top of the line.
No, she said she wasn't in today because she messaged me earlier and said she wanted the ticket.
Tell Fiona they're calling her. Laurie Grace still bringing us now. Laurie already knows. Well, he's got second or third from the top there. He's got Brahman anyway. The girl with the long hair's holding. He's a bit swampy back. Looking around behind him.
We were going to, we were heading that direction and there were still parks. So I went, get one of these, still safe, trying to sit, because I ran into Tanya Rain. She's got older kids. One of the trade exhibitors, and they couldn't finish it, so they had to walk all the way around. After half an hour on the bus doing the blues, all the way around.
83. Oh, what's something tree? That's red and white. Wilson? Is that a Wilson? Who's the red and white one? I saw him with the cars.
Literally grabbed food and we sat down and played out. Oh my god, because I could see this little thing. I'm like, it's not cold food, yeah? Nearly done. Nearly done.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Nearly. And I saw him and I'm like,
Yes.
that's Chad. I'm sure that's Alex walking. I know that voice. I'm like, she did so good. She explained it. She said, she didn't hear no, yeah, well, she said she had to go to
Yeah, that.
and I was like, how well they spoke.
Yeah, that time.
The big I was like,
I think that's wild. I thought I had to like
Nah. It's like.
and then it's just one the winner for my friend. Well, text me if you need anything. I don't know if I'll be much help, but that's right. But you're fine. Oh, sure, yeah.
And she explained it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the end, we ended up just why she did it. And she said, because I spoke really well on because she had said next to cheer and she must have really liked my illustration. She said, so yeah, I was like, get up there.
Seeing good. I've got some 2 months to hold in. I've been here for the last 2 years.
Hi.
I'm Russell.
Isabel, how are you?
Yeah.
Good.
TV Stock Live. Yeah.
I think Lynn
Good,
told me
everything's
to come
good.
and find you earlier. No, I couldn't.
See you over there?
You don't call that marquee over there, you know? It's Telstra Hub or something. What's it say on it?
There it goes. Oh, wait, no.
Let's see.
This one there.
The one there? It's a celebrity chef restaurant.
Yeah.
That sound alright, doesn't it?
Yep.
We are judging now the final junior lead steer class this afternoon, class number 39, the Milktooth lead steer, live weight 560 to 650 kilos. And we will come back for the judgment of our champion for 2021. Lovely to welcome each and every one of you here to our main ring this afternoon. It's been a glorious day here in Rockhampton for day number 1 of Beef 21. Lovely to have all of our guests in the beautiful Robert Archer stand, the Cattleman's Bar, and also our guests over there in the celebrity chef restaurant up there on the top of the concourse, and out there in the lovely dining area. So lovely to have you with us here on this beautiful afternoon. It's a quality lineup of wonderful steers that have been presented in front of our judge, Mr. Jeff House. Lovely to have Jeff up here at Rockhampton this year. It's the first time ever to beef. Been judging the carcass competitions down at Sydney Royal and Canberra Royal for the past 10 years. And Jeff is from Forbes in the central west of New South Wales. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll now hand the microphone over to Mr. Jeff House to pass comment on that class. Thanks, Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen, another fantastic class of steers here, and congratulations to all the exhibitors. Really well prepared animals, and just a tremendous lineup. A lot of variability, the breed types and the like out there, but overall, just a fantastic lineup of heavy steers. There's some animals in the back up the lines. There's some cracking steers back there. Probably there's a few of them though. Again, I was just a little bit nervous that they didn't have enough fat coverage. They were just a little bit lean, especially down over that hind quarter. Probably just didn't look as though they had enough, that even sort of coverage that I was potentially looking for, but some magnificently muscled animals. There's one up there in the back line that enormous jump muscle as he walks, just an enormous amount of yield in that carcass. But yeah, probably got the evenness of the steer above, especially down through that hindquarter. Those muscle seams in the hindquarter, just that little bit more visible, sort of probably suggesting there's probably not quite the same amount of fat coverage in there. But overall an enormously well muscled animal, high yielding carcass, and congratulations on getting further up in the line. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Now we have the 4 winners that will be coming back line for the championship here this afternoon. Now we have our first exhibitor will be catalogue number 12. That is Crusher, the Droughtmaster steer, presented by St Brendan's College and Oscar Hills. Our second exhibitor in the finals this afternoon will be catalogue number 17, and that is Sapphire, a Limousin steer, presented by Proston State School, and Jessica Jackson will be the handler. Our third steer out in the finals will be catalogue number 27. That's Billy Bob, a Speckle Park Cross steer, Tim and Lauren Eastwell's nomination, and George Tucker. Now fourth steer into the championship this afternoon is B1, the Limousin Cross steer, Billy Goach's nomination, and also exhibited by Billy.
So I tried to get them to email those things out, but it's easier for them to just so I just sent an email saying just very and then I've sent Christy an email with that information that I don't know is Christy the one now to speak to that. Is she the one who's telling you offline? I spoke to her on the phone about it, but it was like 2 days ago. So maybe I'll just go to someone's half an hour when I should go to work. Yeah, right.
From now, our competitors coming forward here in our centre ring for the judging of the champion junior lead steer here at Beef 21. Our first steer that is leading is catalogue number 12, that's Crusher, the Route Master steer, presented by St Brendan's College, and Oscar Hills is the handler. Our next steer is catalogue number 17, that is Sapphire. He's a Limousin steer, presented by the Proston State School, and Jessica Jackson is the handler. Our third steer is catalogue number 27, that's Billy Bob, a Speckle Park Cross steer, Tim and Lauren Eastwell's nomination, and George Tucker is the handler. And our final steer, number 4 in the lineup, is catalogue number 56, and this is B1, Limousin Cross steer, Billy Gulch, and also handled by Billy here this afternoon. So good luck to our 4 competitors vying for the champion junior lead steer here at Beef 21. And also a big thank you to Ray White, who've sponsored our lead steer classes once again here in 2021. And it's lovely to have the team from Ray White here. Adrian Knowles is here, and he'll be also here to make the presentation to our champion. So on behalf of Beef Australia, very special thank you to Ray White.
Yeah, you just got it.
You coming to the game on Friday night, aren't you?
That's why. So, purchase here. Yep. Yep, but he has to go to prison. He's going tonight. He's from Falls. They're in out, they're out with their shouldn't be too bad.
See you later. Nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm really happy with the judging today. These four steers in front of me, I think, are four excellent, high-yielding steers with adequate fat coverage there. Look, I think they're really, really good representative of each of their classes, and look, I'm really happy with the four of them there. Really tough decision between the two, or basically between all four of them. It's come down to two, and it's really there's a reasonable difference in weight between the two of them, but you know, I think one is probably a little bit stronger down lower through the hindquarter. The other's probably a little bit stronger up over the top, and you know, for its actual weight, I've decided to go with the champion from the second class. I think just the ribeye on this animal, when you get in behind and actually run your hand in behind the shoulder of this animal, that muscle runs right in there behind the shoulder. It's got adequate fat coverage for its sort of weight, and I think just overall a really good, neat carcass, high yielding, and everything we're looking for. Look, take nothing against the Limousin there in the last class. Look, again, I think he's probably not quite as strong over the top line for his weight, but probably a bit thicker down through the hindquarters. So really tough call between those two. But yeah, going with the lighter animal on the day. Thank you.
So we'll now make the official presentation there to our champion here this afternoon from class number 37. They were the winner, and that's catalogue number 17, Sapphire, the Limousin steer, presented by the Proston State School And Jessica Jackson is the handler. So congratulations. We have the team from Ray White there to make the official presentation. We have Mr. Stephen Nell, Mr. Adrian Knowles, and Laura Tacey from Mundubra. Also there making the presentation to our champion. We go back through the history books. In 2018, the champion junior lead steer was Ted, exhibited by Shannon Coombs. He was a Simmental steer. In 2009, our champion junior lead steer was Jerry, exhibited by Peter Gaffney. We go back to 2003, the champion junior lead steer was a Limousin steer, presented by the Dalby Agricultural College. In 2000, the champion junior lead steer was a Limousin steer, presented by Amy Jackson from Kingaroy. In 1997, the champion junior lead steer was a Charbray cross steer, presented by Rutherford KG and DK Rutherford. And in 1991, 30 years ago this year, the champion junior lead steer was a Mandalong special presented by K&R Barber from Araman here in Queensland. So congratulations there to our champion here this afternoon, catalogue number 17, Sapphire, the Limousin steer, presented by Boston State High School and exhibited by Jessica Jackson. Congratulations.
Thanks for that, thank you.
That's right. Oh, no. Oh, you're going to get